Sinkets! 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 Are you ready?
We're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is a tremendous joy, privilege, and honor to be here with you this evening to support the candidacy of Ian Patches Liebert. We were in Nevis tonight. We had an important meeting because over there we're ready. But we said that we wanted to be here tonight to lend our support to Ian Patches Liebert right here in East Pasture. And East Pasture has plenty Nevis people live over here. They came years ago and they're still here. And I want the people in East Pasture, especially those from Nevis, to understand that I see Ian Patches Liebert in Nevis more than I see Steadroy. I don't understand a man who hails from Nevis is afraid to come to Nevis. He has never come back. And I'm saying to you that Ian Patches Liebert is the best choice for East Pasture. Now, the time is short, so we can't have not too much long talking tonight. There will be another occasion, no doubt, when I will come and speak for a long time. But for our purposes tonight, we wanted to come to once again reaffirm our commitment in the Concerned Citizens Movement to this new paradigm of governance, this new approach to delivering services to our people, this effort that we have never seen before in our history, this opportunity that has presented itself where we, those in the Concerned Citizens Movement, those in the People's Labour Party, and those in the Great People's Action Movement have come together as one to say to one and all, those at home and those abroad, to say to the region and to the world that together we are better.
We're ready for the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have no fear as I stand here this evening. As sure as the sun will rise tomorrow, we will have a new government in this country when the election is called. And Denzel Douglas knows it. And he's afraid of it. Any man who has been prime minister for 20 long years and still scheming for more, you have to ask why. What do you have to hide? What do you have to hide? After 20 long years, you would expect he will retire to one of his mansions in Dubai. But no, he's scheming and plotting and say he wants more. And so now, here at the 11th hour, he comes now to say he wants boundary changes. And has the heart to say to sensible people, a nation that boasts a literacy rate of 98%, he says to us that the boundaries are illegal. Well, if the boundary is illegal, that means he's illegal. Because he won elections and the same boundaries he now says are illegal. He says he must change the boundaries because the OS and CARICOM and other observers say so. Well, they said so 10 years ago. I heard him in a speech, New Year's Day address, when instead of giving the nation hope, instead of pointing out a better way forward, he chooses instead the low base politics. I hear some calypso say, how low can you go? That's the basis that he chose. So he comes now and he says the Constitution is flawed. Well, what a man after Prime Minister for 20 years. What have you ever done to fix the flaws in the Constitution? You had all 8. You had 7. You wait till now. You have 4 to say the Constitution is flawed. Well, how are you going to get it fixed now? You're going to fix it when you only have 1 on the opposition benches? And you all heard me. I told him so in Parliament. I want him to be on the opposition benches. When he's on the government side, the light coming off his bald head blinds me. But from the opposition benches, the light is better. And that is where I want him to be, because I want to look across at him. I've told you so before, and said, Dougie, how it feel? How it feel? Ladies and gentlemen, we have been afforded a golden opportunity in our country. A golden opportunity in our country to restore decency and good governance to St. Kitts and Nevis. Our children should no longer have our prime minister as a ringtone. The children in primary school should no longer, when somebody do them something bad, they say you get a Dougie. The reality is that our office of prime minister has been debased. Our office of speaker has been debased. Our office of commissioner of police. Our office of governor general. They have all found themselves in a morass because, you see, leadership comes from the top. And if the top is not doing what is right, so too the nation will not do what is right. And so I say to you, seize this opportunity. St. Kitts, I have come to St. Kitts more than once, more than twice. This is the third time that I'm delivering something akin to a political speech here in St. Kitts. And I've come to say to you, do your part. Because in Nevis, the CCM is doing its part. And when I come down, after the next election, I will have 9, 10, and 11. 3. I need 3 more. And if I can get 3 more, we have the government, but 4 will be nice. 5 will be nice. 6 will be delightful. 7, exquisite. 8, no. I want Douglas to win his seat. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity here, the likes of which the country has not seen in recent times. We have on this platform people who are demonstrating in word and in deed that they're putting country above self. We are the very essence and epitome of living out our culture and our creed, that we will put our country above ourselves. There are no egos up here. Nobody up here is trying to be the maximum leader. Up here we are trying to be good public servants. We recognize that our role is to serve you. Our role is not about self-aggrandizement. It is not about lust for power. It is to serve you and to lift you up. When I heard my brother Patches talking about people on land for 30 years and still don't have license, still don't have title, I leaned over to my friend and the next Prime Minister, Dr. Harris, and I said to him, Tim, that sounds strange. Patches is right. Because coming from Nevis, I can't conceptualize of people living on land for 30 years with no title. Give the people their title. You're telling people shake their keys. In Nevis, we say shake your title. Give the people their title so that they can have something that they can leave to their children. That is how you elevate people from poverty. I was in the House of Parliament. They wouldn't even let me say. I get up and say, good morning, Mr. Speaker, the object. I said, I have come. They said, no, he has not come. I said, I have with me a majority. No, he lied, you don't have a majority. Everything I say, they jump up. Douglas jump up. Ricky jump up. What the fella their name who is neither elected nor electable? Nigel, he jump up. But then the most rabid jump up was the one, and I believe Sam Conda, my friend, dealt with her appropriately. He said, don't study she. Rah, 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 rah. Imagine that. that your life as a parliamentarian is summed up by the statement, no study share. Rah, 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 rah. I stood up in the house and I sought to say that in this, the 21st century, in a modern country such as St. Kitts Nevis, your claim to fame should not be that you opened a public bathroom in Pasture. I said so, and I will not resile from it. The reason I will not resile from it is that there is a view in some quarters that poor people must remain poor. We say in unity, no. We are here to give everybody a hand up. Not a handout, a hand up. Our people must become self-reliant. This nonsense of giving a man a fish so that he come back tomorrow to beg another fish, and you control him in that way, we are saying that is wrong. Give people an opportunity so that they can learn how to fish for themselves. Elevate the people. And then to make matters worse, the fella sitting in the chair who's wimpy in name and in nature. Wimpy in name and in nature. Jump up and say, I bathe in that bathroom too. Could you imagine? That is what they're telling you. That is good enough for you. And I'm saying no. Not in St. Kitts, not in Nevis, not in the 21st century. Unity offers something better. And so when you see I come, you see I put down my blue shirt mark, Sheriff. And the girls say me have muscles too. Oh yeah. And I come to tell you that whenever you see my feet touch St. Kitts, Douglas frightened. He's frightened because he knows that in this team, in this man that stands here this evening, he has people who are not afraid, who are prepared to stand and to stand firm and to stand for their country. And if you're not afraid, you don't got to be afraid. Stand up, do what you know needs to be done, and ensure that whenever the election is called, it is victory for Team Unity. Now we have heard a lot of attacks, and the attacks ain't even started yet. Somebody sent me a message that said, Mr. Brantley, watch out. They're planning on coming after you. I said, well, let them come if they want to come. One thing I know, I spent a lot of time behind the schoolhouse door. When I graduated from law school, I believe I did well enough. And I have practiced for a while. And I am not going to be like some. The minute they call me name, I put them under the clock. I tell them in Nevis, I like to go under the clock because that is my home. And you can't fight with a shark in the ocean. You must bring him on land to fight with him. And the minute they slip up, so all I'm saying to them, if you want to come, then come. Because I could cock up in Dubai too. And if Douglas have a house in Dubai that he wants to give to me, then let him do that. But I'm going to meet him. You see, he like to run in Parliament and hide behind parliamentary privilege and say all manner of things about people. He went in there and attacked the Honorable Timothy Harris. But you know what I found was so odd, so strange, so bizarre. I was amused and bemused. Because he went into Parliament to attack Tim and said all manner of evil against him. But at the end of the day, the question you must ask him is, if you know Tim was so bad, why you promote him to senior minister? That is how you must examine what they're saying to you. Because to hear him talk now, you know, sometimes when the fox can't get the grapes, he said sour. And when he thought that Tim would support him through thick and thin, he promoted Tim. But now that Tim has said no, instead of standing with you, I prefer to stand with my country. He said Tim is all manner of evil. I am saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, judge us not by what we say, but by what we do. And Tim and Sam, I will always say of them that they could have been like some, swallow their conscience, sit down on their conscience, forget their country, and think of themselves. And they could indeed have been like some I see in Nevis, all of self and none of thee. But instead of that, they decided to come out of that. Come out of that and come into this. Because unity is the way to go. And you know how I know unity is the way to go? Because Douglas and all trying to call himself unity now. Imagine for 2 years they cuss us. For 2 years they say all manner of evil against us. And all of a sudden they show up in Nevis and say they are the real unity. Because they understand the mood in the country. They understand that the people are fed up of the vitriol, fed up of the divisiveness. People are interested in serious government to move the country forward. And so all of a sudden, they steal our idea about VAT or food. They steal our idea about unity. So they jump up now, green and red, hugging up and saying that they are the real deal. I'm telling you, my friends, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. They hear that we are signing the Charlestown Accord. A document mapped out by people looking at what has happened in the country and seeking to mend the wounds. And they hear that we are having an event where we're bringing the leadership of PAM, the leadership of PLP, and the leadership of the CCM together in an historic signing of the Charlestown Accord. It even has an historic name, Charlestown Accord, in the heart of Charlestown. They come up now and say, them have got something. But the interesting thing about it is they say it's a draft. Well, as I said, I'm glad I went to law school. But one thing I know about draft is not what the paper is written on. But ladies and gentlemen, you see, the time is short. And you have not really come to hear me. And so as I did when Team Unity was launched, I have the pleasure this evening of introducing to you a man who has been vilified, but a man who is true. I said to him, because if I can remember correctly, people tend to attack those who have something to offer. An old woman said to me, nobody ever threw a stone in an empty mango tree yet. And they have gone after Tim time and time again. But I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, that Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris will be the next Prime Minister of this country.